Welcome to Outdoor Oasis Ideas. Today we'll explore how to create stunning front yard flower beds that not only enhance curb appeal but also greet you with beauty every time you come home. Whether your front yard is a compact space or a slightly larger canvas, the right flower bed design can make a big impact, setting the tone for your entire home. A small front yard doesn't have to feel limiting. In fact, it's an opportunity to get creative, using every square foot to showcase color, texture, and structure. From choosing the right plants to designing layouts that maximize space, let's dive into practical ideas and timeless techniques to create a welcoming front yard filled with beautiful flower beds. Designing the layout for small front yard flower beds. The first step in creating a front yard that feels warm and inviting is designing a layout that balances practicality and visual appeal. Start by observing the natural flow of the space. Think about how visitors approach your home, whether they walk along a straight path to the door or follow a curved walkway. These pathways naturally guide the eye and can help determine where flower beds should be placed. For small yards, curved or asymmetrical flower beds create a sense of movement and make the space feel larger. Consider wrapping flower beds around corners or framing a walkway with symmetrical plantings. If your front yard has a porch, placing flower beds at its base visually anchors the space and softens the transition between the house and the yard. Don't overlook vertical elements in the layout. Incorporating small trellises or vertical planters adds height and dimension, allowing you to maximize space while introducing climbing flowers or trailing plants. Defining edges with clear borders keeps small flower beds looking tidy and intentional. Materials like brick, stone, or metal edging provide a clean separation between the lawn and planting areas, enhancing the overall structure and polish of the yard. Choosing the right plants for a small front yard. Plant selection is crucial in creating a balanced, visually appealing front yard. For small spaces, every plant needs to serve a purpose, whether it's adding color, texture, or structure. A mix of perennials, annuals, and shrubs ensures year-round interest and variety. For structure, choose compact shrubs like boxwoods, dwarf hydrangeas, or spira. These shrubs provide a foundation for the flower beds and keep the garden visually anchored even in the winter months. Boxwoods, in particular, can be trimmed into neat shapes that add formality and structure to the design. To add seasonal color, select flowering perennials like coneflowers, daisies, or salvias. These plants bloom year after year with minimal maintenance, providing a dependable source of color. Mixing perennials with annuals like petunias, marigolds, or zinnias allows you to refresh the garden's look each season. Low-growing plants like creeping thyme, sweet alyssum, or sedum are excellent for the front edges of flower beds, softening borders and creating a seamless transition to walkways or the lawn. These plants also add texture and visual interest, especially in smaller spaces where every detail counts. For vertical interest, include climbing plants like clematis or compact climbing roses. Trained on a trellis or arbor near the entryway, these plants draw the eye upward and make the yard feel larger and more dynamic. Creating seasonal interest with layered plantings. A layered planting approach ensures that your flower beds look full and vibrant throughout the year. Start with a backdrop of taller plants, such as small ornamental trees or shrubs. Options like Japanese maples or dwarf lilacs add height and structure, while providing seasonal blooms or colorful foliage. The middle layer should feature mid-height plants like peonies, coreopsis, or lavender. These plants create a bridge between the tallest elements and the low-growing plants at the front. Lavender, in particular, adds a soothing fragrance and pairs beautifully with other flowers for a classic, cottage-style look. The front layer is where low-growing plants like creeping phlox, dianthus, or ornamental grasses come into play. These plants soften the edges of the flower bed and create a polished, cohesive appearance. Incorporating plants with staggered bloom times ensures that your flower beds always have something to offer, from spring bulbs like tulips and daffodils to summer perennials like black-eyed Susans and fall-blooming asters. Even in winter, evergreen shrubs and plants with interesting bark, such as red-twig dogwood, keep the garden visually engaging. maximizing small spaces with vertical and container gardening. In a small front yard, vertical gardening and container planting are excellent strategies for adding greenery and blooms without overcrowding the space. Vertical gardens can be created with wall-mounted planters, freestanding trellises, or even repurposed ladders that support cascading or climbing plants. Containers add flexibility, allowing you to move plants around to fill gaps or create focal points. Place large pots near the entryway or along the edges of walkways to add height and dimension. Pots filled with a mix of thrillers, fillers, and spillers create dynamic arrangements. For example, a tall ornamental grass or flowering shrub serves as the thriller, compact plants like coleus or petunias act as fillers, and trailing plants like ivy or creeping jenny spill gracefully over the sides. Choose containers that complement your home style. Sleek, modern pots work well with contemporary designs, while terracotta or ceramic planters suit cottage and traditional aesthetics. Grouping containers in odd numbers and varying heights adds visual interest and prevents the design from feeling too rigid. Incorporating fragrance and pollinator-friendly plants. Adding fragrant plants to the front yard creates a welcoming atmosphere and enhances the sensory experience. Consider planting aromatic flowers like gardenias, roses, or lavender near entryways or along pathways, where their scent can be appreciated up close. Pollinator-friendly plants like bee balm, Echinacea and Salvia attract butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds, adding movement and life to the garden. These plants not only benefit local ecosystems, but also make the yard feel lively and dynamic. For a magical touch, include night blooming or evening scented flowers like moonflowers or nicotiana. Defining edges and paths for structure. Defined edges and pathways are essential in small front yard gardens, providing clarity and order to the design. Use materials like brick, stone, or metal edging to create crisp, clean lines that separate the flower beds from the lawn or walkway. Curved edges add a sense of flow, while straight lines create a more formal, structured look. Pathways made of gravel, stepping stones, or pavers guide visitors through the space while protecting the lawn and flower beds from foot traffic. Line paths with low-growing, fragrant plants like creeping thyme or sweet alyssum for a soft, inviting touch. Adding solar-powered pathlights or lanterns enhances the design and allows the garden to be enjoyed in the evening. Creating focal points with decorative features. Focal points draw the eye and give the garden a sense of purpose and balance. In a small front yard, a single decorative element, such as a bird bath, garden sculpture, or ornamental tree, can have a big impact. Position focal points at the center of a flower bed or near the entryway to create a strong visual anchor. For a whimsical touch, consider incorporating a vintage-style garden bench surrounded by flowering plants, or use a pair of urns filled with seasonal arrangements to frame the doorway. Maintaining a small front yard garden. Regular maintenance is key to keeping a small front yard garden looking its best. Deadheading spent blooms encourages plants to produce more flowers and keeps the beds tidy. Pruning shrubs and perennials prevents overgrowth and maintains the garden's structure. Watering is particularly important for small flower beds, as compact spaces can dry out quickly. Use drip irrigation or soaker hoses for efficient watering that delivers moisture directly to the roots. Adding a layer of mulch helps retain moisture, suppress weeds, and improve the soil's health over time. Fertilizing with a balanced, slow-release formula ensures that plants receive the nutrients they need to thrive. For flowering plants, consider a bloom-boosting fertilizer to encourage vibrant, long-lasting blooms. A small front yard garden with thoughtfully designed flower beds transforms the entrance to your home into a welcoming, colorful oasis. Thank you for joining us on Outdoor Oasis Ideas. If you found inspiration in these flower bed ideas, please remember to subscribe for more tips and insights on creating stunning outdoor spaces. With a little creativity and care, your front yard can become a vibrant, welcoming retreat that greets you warmly every time you come home. Happy gardening, and we'll see you in the next video.